That's my salad for today, and that's James's salad for today. And basically, it's this. We were given this, and I just didn't put this in. Instead, I put the hemp seeds. And I'm having strawberry cherry smoothie, and James is having a spirulina and a bunch of other things smoothie. I'm gonna be making this Emerald City kraut, and I'll be using this in much the same way that I use this instead of the salad dressing from this. So I'll talk about that in a bit. And that's from this book, Fresh and Fermented, that I've been making recipes from for a while now. We're going to talk about the act based on real events, and then these other things too. So lots of good things today. And it's been a wonderful day, and well, you can see it's a wonderful day. It's very nice and sunny, and I'm wearing this, my outfit for today, this very sunny outfit. So yeah, we went for a walk, and we're going to be doing some sunbathing now. So yep, I get to wear short shorts, and I'm very happy with this outfit. I don't know how you feel about it, James.
It looks very good.
Good. So, I hope you don't mind me putting my hat on. I don't want to get sun on my eyes so much. There we go. And now my outfit's perfect. See, it even matches the peach. Very happy about my outfit today. So, what was I going to say first? So, yeah, I've been wanting to make the Emerald City kraut to make this sort of creamy dill salad for a while now. Now what I did with mine is I did put the little, the seasoning package with the dill into my salad, so that it would taste more like dill. And I also I started adding the almond oil from, how I've been saving the oil from the top of my almond butter and whatever nut butters and seed butters, to put on salads, and then using the stuff without the oil that's settled in the containers, whatever, to make the vegan keto sushi. But anyway, so that kind of scared me, the noise. Jumpy, I guess. Anyway, I ran out of the almond butter oil, so then I used some tahini. But that's okay, because I put quite a lot of flax in my smoothie, and that'll balance out the omega ratio nicely. So we'll see how this is. Yeah. That's really good. But like I said, I'll be doing this. This is with the red ruby kraut and with the dill flavor added to it. The dill added to it. And I'll be making mine creamier, because it's supposed to have the cheese in it and stuff, and I don't know if most people would find it that fancy without the cheese, right? I don't know if James would, but I think he would find it fancy with cashew cream.
Well,
yeah. So, there's ways to make a healthy salad really, really tasty, and yeah, and this is great anyway for me. But yeah, James's smoothie today, I don't know how he'll feel about it, but he has some other options. I brought out the Mystic Mango kombucha for him, and he has a banana yogurt with he likes that yogurt, so with the pineapple on top.
Makes a nice little fruit cup.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Great little dessert. So I tried this salad
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to what I ate last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
I actually ate it this morning.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the hemp seeds on it instead of the breadcrumbs, way better.
Way better. Way healthier, too.
Yep. Anyway, I guess I should stop eating and get talking about this. So,
Yeah, spirulina is pretty good.
good. So what I did is I put 3 mandarin oranges, which you're getting the pulp from, and some of my frozen sour cherries, a few grapes, like I said. I don't know, maybe it was 4 or 5 grapes. They're pretty big grapes, but yeah, and then the spirulina, and skim milk. I use skim milk on his. So anyway, the act. We're going over this today because James hasn't had a chance to watch it, and we can take it out again for him to watch the end of it some other time, like maybe in the winter, because we're going to be doing a lot more hiking, and we won't have time to do much movie watching and stuff. So
we've been out hiking a lot recently, and no apologies for that.
Yeah. So, I thought Patricia Arquette did a great job.
Yeah.
And, I guess, what's her name was in this? The one that everyone hated, the wife from Big Love that everyone hated. What's her name again, the blonde? I can't remember.
Was she the last wife or middle wife or something like that in that Mormon?
No, she was the middle one.
Opera.
Yeah.
She was
and so the
wife.
first wife was oh no, things are better now that there's the third one, right?
Well,
because I mean,
the middle one was resentful of the power of the first wife, and was the third wife kind of, well, she was younger.
Young, right? And very
presumably
beautiful,
good looking. I've kind of forgotten.
But anyway, yeah, Big Love, a series that everyone needs to watch. So good. Anyway, but
the husband was cast so well. I won't say he was the greatest actor in the world. Definitely not the worst. He was cast so well.
He was
so
perfect.
Looked like a little Weasley. There
oh my gosh,
Weasley
he was so
Mormon
perfect.
Guys,
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the middle wife from Big Love, she's in this. And I can't remember her name right now, but oh my gosh, she's so awesome. And so they had a lot of talent in the show, and they had a story worth telling. This is great. I don't know how much of the story was embellished, whatever. Like, I seem to remember, it's been a little while since I've watched this because I was waiting for James to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
So I seem to remember the writing saying that it came from maybe a newspaper article or a magazine article or something like that. I don't know if they did further research before they decided to make this. Probably. But anyway, so basically it unravels itself, and right away I was like, I don't know if that daughter is actually handicapped at all, needs to be in the wheelchair or whatever I was saying. But so it shouldn't take you long to figure it out either, so I'm not giving anything away there. No. But I guess I should give you a spoiler alert, because I'm going to be talking about this. And I'm not going to be holding back, because this is some important stuff. So it seemed to me, like, as the story unfolds, at first you're like, yeah, the mother is really abusing her daughter, making her stay in this wheelchair, shaving her head. I mean, that's, I think a lot of the time when, like, I remember, anyway, a lot of the time women are encouraged to cut their hair short by their significant others.
Maybe, I don't know.
And I think it's a control thing to make them look less attractive.
Yeah.
The men don't want their women being attractive. And with this, I think it was more like it's not good that the mom was shaving the girl's head, making whatever. But I think it was to keep her looking like a baby. So I think the mother she missed out on like a significant amount of time when her daughter was an infant, growing, that bonding experience, and she wanted to keep that. So I think that's what was really happening there. So, because they show her, I think pretty early on in the series, they showed the mother bathing she had a big kitchen sink, right? They showed the mother bathing her daughter in the kitchen sink. That's a thing a lot of women do with their babies. And I mean, this girl was far too large for that at that point, right? She's not a baby anymore. But I think that's what it was. Her mother just had to keep her as an infant. So keeping her in the wheelchair was a way to do that.
They should have sinks like that for babies.
Yeah.
Because why would women do that for the back?
You're right. That is why they do it. Yeah. So, anyway. Now, I think they kind of misanalyzed things with the young man that gets involved with the girl, I suppose she would be legal age at that time, but the mom has been lying to her daughter about her age and lying to everyone about the daughter's age. And anyway, so the daughter, she acts really young. She acts really innocent, and she would. I totally believe that she would be much like the mother keeps saying she has the intelligence of a 7-year-old. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that that's true. It might be a little bit higher than that, whatever. The mother has been the one who's been homeschooling her daughter. So, and she keeps her raised on Disney princesses. And the daughter thinks of herself as a Rapunzel. And she's looking for a knight in shining armor in a tower, she's been trapped by a evil witch, because although she loves her mom, she loves her very dearly because she would, because so she ends up going on this Christian internet meeting place it's a free dating thing to try to find some, because she wants to grow up. She doesn't want to be a baby. And right away when that came on, James and I are like, oh boy, the predators that would be trolling around in there, because there'd be so many, Christians, just lambs, very innocent. There'd be so many innocent people that wouldn't. Lambs to the slaughter. Exactly. So that's what we were saying. And then who does she find? A guy who's into BDSM. Yeah. So I think the makers of the show misread that a bit, because he's a predator. He is a predator. And they're making it out like he's an idiot, and yeah, maybe, but yeah, I know. That doesn't exhaust. But that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't make him not a predator. He found the perfect prey. Perfect. She's been raised so she would love her mom. Her mom has been her. Been the power, the one with the power, the one in control, the one that she looks up to. She's the submissive. The daughter is the submissive in the relationship. And she does exactly what her mother tells her to do, but she doesn't want to anymore. She's been breaking some rules. She's been drinking Coca-Cola from the fridge at night, and she's not allowed to. She's been her mother says she's allergic to sugar, which she's not, right? And the daughter's figured out she's not allergic to sugar, and she's breaking some rules. But when she finds the guy, and he finds her, unfortunately, it's she's the submissive to him. He's her dominant, and I don't think they quite understood how the dynamic works. So anyway, having said that, this is an awesome show, and everyone should watch it. Well, I mean, not children, whatever. But,
yeah, that'd be way too much.
Yeah. So, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, Season 1. I haven't seen Season 2, and this was put out 2017, quite a while ago. So, anyway, I thought Elijah Wood did a great job with the Blu-ray. I mean, you see things that in this picture that you wouldn't see with if you watched DVD, right? Like James pointed out, wow, he has long eyelashes. James has long eyelashes, but Elijah Wood's might be even longer. This is incredible. When he turns sideways, it's like, wow, you should put mascara on those things all the time, because that's impressive. But I get that maybe you wouldn't want to. So this is from the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I was thinking this would be great as a bedtime story for a father to tell to his, and then I was thinking, wait a minute, there's an awful lot of violence in here, so maybe not. But it's really, I think it's for teenage boys more than anything, but maybe some teenage girls too, and maybe some people who had read this when they were young, and maybe they're young adults now or whatever.
Did Douglas Adams work on Doctor Who for a while?
I don't know.
Something to check out.
Anyway, I mean, there's some silly things about this. Whatever. It's sci-fi. What do you want? I really like it's a very different mystery. You have the holistic detective who he doesn't know anything. He has no idea.
He's hopeless.
He just fumbles around, and he happens to solve cases just by letting the universe guide him to do so. It's really interesting. So, yeah, I found this interesting.
I played soccer with English chappies like him. Unfortunately, things didn't work out by serendipity with him.
So, I for Icarus. I don't know if you've ever heard of this show, 1979, in French with English subtitles. So basically, this was basically about the Kennedy assassination without having anything to do with it. So that's the basic story they were going with here. So, but it's not a JFK thing. But you can see here, it says, they knew it was, because it says, Verneuil, I don't know how you would pronounce that.
Verneuil.
Oh, icy cool and intelligent investigative thriller that will grip you like Oliver Stone's JFK. Right? So they know too. That's what they were going for there.
So did they interpret it as the CIA?
No, they were definitely saying the police were involved and stuff like that.
Well, the local police were.
Yeah. So
the mayor of the city was.
You know, they were leaning towards the CIA because they were talking about they went a psychological direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, but anyway.
Certain elements of the CIA were involved. The head of the Miami CIA station, which was the biggest in the United States and by the world. David Morales, it looks as though he was involved. E. Howard Hunt, and Morales, despite his name, apparently was something like a Navajo Indian.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is the 60s. People go, racism, racism. This is the southern part of the United States. No clue. Huh?
All right, so this one's Hungarian. 145 minutes, mid-year 2000, black and white. Why? And because they want to try to seem arty.
Yeah.
Philosophical, mystical, resonant. This is unwatchable. This is terrible. So, Werckmeister Harmonies.
Okay.
Nope. The rest of them?
Okay,
yeah.
if you're watching in Hungary, you might have blown that one. I didn't see it, but they blew away Orban, who was the Donald Trump for the last 16 years in Hungary.
Oh, really?
Putin agent, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they just blew him away. I thought he was going to lose it by cheating. You know how Putin does it with Trump and others. But it was so close they couldn't even, or it was so far away they couldn't even cheat. So, Hungary, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. Don't ever let him get out, Orban. But congratulations, Hungary. I thought you'd never get rid of that beast.
So, James is probably going to talk about JFK now. I have no idea what he's going to talk about.
Well, I've been reading a lot of stuff. Rereading. A lot of stuff about JFK. It's not the time of year. He was assassinated the 26th of November, 1962. But 63, I should say. And I was alive then. We didn't find out until a day later, almost to the hour, or at least, well, not to the hour. Time zone would be different, but it was, we were in Livingston, the place where I was born actually, but we'd come in from a place that were 80 miles north of there, called Colombo. And weirdly enough, we saw someone selling a newspaper. That's how old I am. It's like a newsboy on the street. And I remember my mom saying, I didn't know what was happening. She's so young. Talking about Jackie. I'm telling you, Jackie was one brave woman. You know, bullets are flying around. And she climbs under the back of the Thunderbird convertible to try and recover a hunk of Kennedy's skull, presumably his brain and stuff like that. And a brave Secret Service agent. All the rest were cowards. They're supposed to jump on the president and shove him down. But he climbed onto the back of the car and shoved her back into the seat. By that time, they'd stopped shooting. They'd known that they'd caught what they wanted. They didn't mind hitting. They didn't care who they hit, really. They hit John Comey, who was he the governor of Texas or senator from Texas? I think the governor of Texas, Republican. And he maybe was lucky to survive. And but once they got Kennedy, they knew they just basically blew maybe half of his brain away. Maybe not quite that much. But it's amazing the doctors worked on Kennedy for about, I think it was 15 minutes trying to revive him. They made a tracheotomy in his. There was a wound there. Of course, all the doctors that knew anything about it said it was an entrance wound. You know, he's driving towards the grassy knoll and away from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository, whatever. You know, but yeah. So, any doctor who said anything about it, you know, any doctor in Dallas, the first people to have to deal with the corpse said it was an entrance wound, like a small wee thing. So he had to open. One doctor had to open it up, so to try and get it.
Well, for Icarus, they tell it as though Lee Harvey Oswald did do the shooting. So,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. Everyone agreed, you know, like you're not going to be shooting a pistol in an assassination unless you're getting to hand-to-hand combat. You're going to be using a rifle. rifles were used. There's just, and they did a nitrate test on his cheek. Is Lee Harvey Oswald. Negative. He didn't fire a rifle for the previous 24 hours. No. Anything else, and this is the authorities saying, right? They tried to cover it up later, but it's in the records. Right? You know, now the weird thing is, people say he's totally innocent. You know, he tested out positive for his hand. And there was a police officer killed on the west side of Dallas called Oak Cliff. J.D. Tippett was his name. Jefferson Davis, his parents were
So you think he killed the police officer?
It's a possibility. Because apparently there was only one police officer. You know, when there's a disaster like this, the police just go like flies to an outhouse where the disaster has occurred, right? Mm-hmm. So they have one guy out in Oak Cliff, which is kind of, then I think it's part of Dallas now, but it's almost like a suburb. It's across the Trinity River, probably originally Trinidad River, which is Spanish for Trinity. But so they had one guy out there, and somehow or another, you know, what are the chances that a cop is going to kind of run across this suspect? So 45 minutes later, this cop gets killed. 2 witnesses come up. There was one witness who just said Oswald did it, but she was kind of nuts. Her name was Ellen Markman or something like that. She changing her story. Ultimately, her story was, did you recognize the guy who shot him? Was that Lee Harvey Oswald? No. Did you recognize it? Nope. No. So she kept changing her testimony. Now, what happened with a lot of these people, they were phoned up by folks and said, you know, your life is in danger if you talk about this sort of stuff. You know, real nuisance calls. And you don't know who's doing that call. It could be officials. It could be the CIA, for example, because CIA elements were involved in planning the assassination and perhaps even pulling the trigger. But here's one thing. There was a guy who was a bit of a look-alike for Lee Harvey Oswald. His name was Roscoe White. His wife and at least one of his kids, maybe all of them, or 2 of them, or whatever, said that he was involved with the assassination. So remember the Dallas police? On his deathbed, Roscoe White confessed to being involved. Okay, you know, it's not as though he's some wacko who's, you know, like there are wackos that come out of the woodwork. For example, Woody Harrelson's dad, who I think had been convicted of murder earlier, had come out and said he was involved. And I think that was just looking for publicity or something like that. No, they never pursued that. And the researchers generally just poo-poo that. But here's this Roscoe White. So, you know, like someone once wrote, you know, if you solve J.D. Tippett's murder, you solve the whole thing. Well, no, but you come closer. So, at the woman who took care of the French's landlady of the place, she's not the owner of the place where Lee Harvey Oswald was staying to work at the Texas School Book Depository. It was amazing. Kennedy was assassinated at 12:30, pretty well right on the button. And here's what she said. She was getting ready to watch